is going on, everyone? It is Jason the Metal Dad here, and today I've got a video that I think is going to be really cool. So right now in my studio, actually available for use for tracking or reamping, I have on loan from my friend Tanner. He's an old bandmate of mine, and he hit me up and he asked me if I wanted to borrow this really killer FJA modded PV6505. So thanks, Tanner. This thing absolutely slams. I wrote a single, which is coming out on September 22nd, and I'm dropping a playthrough video on that day as well. It features a really sick guitar solo from my friend Lou. I will drop the link for Spotify pre-saves in the description to this video. But anyway, I'm not sure what the FJA mods are on this amp. And Tanner, he's like a gear nerd like all of us. And he swapped out like preamp tubes and stuff. So Tanner, if you're watching this, maybe chime in down in the comments and let me know. Like, I can't remember what exactly you told me for the particular preamp tubes that are in here, and I'm not sure what the FJA mods were. So I mean, if you want to drop that in the comments, I'll pin it so people who are also nerds and are curious can check that out. But the gain structure on this is a lot different than my old 6505, because I used to have one back when Tanner and I were in a band, but I sold it after I got my Axe effects. Like when I did these reamps, because I tracked all the guitars using a plug-in, and I ran the guitars through my Type 85 Countryman DI box, which is awesome. If you're not using a DI box, you should get one, because your reamps and even like plug-in sim guitar tones and everything will just be so much better with one. But yeah, so when I did these reamps with the 6505, I used my precision drive out front. And like I had the gain on the amp at like 9 o'clock, which I think is like 2 on the knob. So it was like set insanely low, and it was just chonky and pissed. Like, I am so stoked to have this amp in here just because it's nasty. And that's what made it on the song, was the actual amp, because it just kills. But I also, just to experiment, just for experiment's sake, I did reamps with my Axe effects and the precision drive, and I also tried it through Neural DSP's Archetype Nolly plugin, because I wanted to shoot it out versus the Axe effects, and I wanted to shoot it out versus a plug-in amp sim of a 5150 as well. And you can see on all of these channels here, Archetype Nolly is loaded, but on these two here are the 6505, these two here are the Axe effects, and these two over here are the DIs with the plug-in. And on the amp channels, I have everything bypassed in the plugin except the cabinet section. So I'm just using this as an IR loader. And on the Axe effects channels, it's the same thing. And I use the exact same setting for the impulse responses across all three. Even over here on the plugin channels, the mic and cab setting is exactly the same, which I think Nolly did these IRs, which they are insane. So if anyone at Neural is watching this, you should make like a Nolly IR plugin that's just this, because I would buy that in a heartbeat. Or even like GGD, you guys should put that out, like a Nolly like IR loader like this. That would be killer. So all that being said, I am going to play through this first with the tube amp, and then I'll switch over to the Axe effects and then play through the whole thing, and I'll switch over to the plugins lastly and play the whole thing, and then I'll go through it all again and I'll jump around. So I'm going to start with the tube amp. Here we go. Okay, so that was with the the Tube 6505, and that thing is killer. I have my, I don't know, I probably said this already, but I have my precision drive out front because I use that like anytime I'm using a hardware amp or my Axe effects for like rhythm guitars, just because that thing is, it's the goat as far as like an overdrive pedal goes, in my opinion. I'm sure some of you all are gonna be like, no, I like this better or this better, but nah, dude, it's sick. All right, so I'm gonna jump over to the Axe effects and play through that one. Okay, so yeah, there it was with the Axe effects, which, you know, I think it sounds pretty cool. And then lastly, I'm going to play through this with Archetype Nolly for all the guitar tones. Alright, so yeah, that was with Archetype Nolly, and now I'm going to play this, like, jumping through all three. That way you can really hear the differences between each one. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, like, what my favorites are. My favorite guitar tone that I got on this was with the Hardware 6505. My second favorite was the Archetype Nolly, and my third favorite, like my least favorite of the bunch, was the Axe effects. And here's why. I think, like, I don't really care much for the regular 6505 and 6505 plus models on the Axe effects. If I'm going for a 5150 sound on the Axe, I'll usually go for the 5153 because that's my favorite of the lot of the 6505 Sims on there. I think Archetype Nolly actually sounds the closest to the hardware amp, which is very impressive. So kudos to Nolly and everyone at Neural DSP, like especially whoever wrote that code, because it is very impressive. And yeah, the Axe, to me, it just, you know, it just didn't hold up as well as the other two in this one, which, you know, if you know me, you know that I'm an Axe effects stan, so like my heart is pained to admit that. But yeah, that's just that's how it is in this one. So I'm gonna jump through all three of these, and then we'll be done for the day. That's all I got for you today. I think, you know, this just kind of demonstrates that, you know, guitar players, we like options. Like, I am definitely a nerdy guitar player, so I like having a million different options, like we all do. They all sound good. Like, even the plugins, the hardware modelers, and the tube amps, like, everything is awesome and everything has a place. So until next time, you all take care. I will catch you then. Bye bye.